And then you speak to all these founders and you're like, no, they all did something different. They discovered their idea differently. They built teams differently. And they took their human experience and put it into what they were doing. And that's what made it as good as it was. I've really been on this hype of wanting anyone, whatever industry you're in, whether it's sports, media, business, whatever it is, finance, tech, to find what it is that makes you different and lean into that and not lean into thinking, how do I look like that other guy who's doing it as well? Because I think that time is gone. I think that time existed. Back in the day, you had to wear the suit like that guy wore, and you had to wear the shoes that he wore, and you had to play golf like him or whatever it was. And I was like, that's changed now. It just doesn't work that way.
Exactly. You said it perfectly, because there's always this stigma like, I can't have a tattoo because I'm not going to get a job. I told my mom, I'll be the first ever, not that money matters, but I was like, I'll be the first ever millionaire fencer. It's like saying I'm going to see a unicorn because it's never existed. But I knew if I was just myself, it would figure itself out, right? And then I have tattoos, and then now kids are getting tattoos because it's such a still elitist, uppity sport, and you can't do these things. I'm like, no, why not? You know, I won't be in a meeting with CEOs. I'm actually sitting with the guy that made your phone, and I'm myself, right? So like you said, I think it's that time is gone, but I think people are still so scared to take a risk. And I think that's the difference. There's so many people that are the same nowadays, which is, I think, the issue. And I think if you can just honestly be yourself, you'll figure out what life is for you. And I think I never wanted to be like anybody else in sports or life in general. And there were those times when I was like, what's this the right decision? But I knew, keep your head down, keep being you, and things will happen for you. And they did. I used to think that fencing was like my kind of anchor. Oh, he's a fencer, but that's actually my gift. I used to lie to people, like, oh yeah, I play basketball, you know, just because like...
I'd believe it, yeah.
Because people were trying to make fun of me or trying to fight me or bully me in school, yeah, because I was a fencer.
Wow.
Because to them, it was not a cool sport. And then now, my Instagram is fencer, and I'm like, that's what I'm doing. That's my purpose, right? And Michael Strahan, one of my great friends and mentor, always told me, never mess up your main and keep that your main. I was like, fencing is my main. Everything else will come, but just don't lose sight of what you were here on this planet to do.
Did it affect you between when your father left when you were 8 and then before you had your now dad that you mentioned? Like, did that affect you in any way? Like,
I think it did for sure. And I think there are times of like, now that I'm older, I can understand it. Like, why are you getting into trouble? Why are you doing these things? Right? I think it probably does stem from trauma or stem from something, because why else would I be acting up? Like, my mom's an amazing mom. She's giving me all the right lessons. Like, why are things happening? And obviously, one of my best friends, Lewis, was, bro, you need to attack that. You need to understand that, right? Like, why is this happening? And, you know, I went on a spiritual journey and understood, oh, wow. And I didn't talk to him for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Your biological father.
Yeah. And then, you know, I had this awakening, picked up the phone and called him. I said, hey, Dad, this is Miles. How are you? I don't want to know about the past. How's everything going? Because I also realized that kids don't realize that their parents are growing up as well. And that was like, oh, wow. I'm not saying right or wrong, but once I did that, it was like a... And then I think I started to just understand way more about myself. So I think definitely I had trauma without even knowing it was trauma at the time. And then now it's like I've got such a clear understanding of that probably made me who I am. So I almost wouldn't want it any other way. And then my stepdad, who is my dad, is the most amazing person. He taught me how to be a man. And I think that's the coolest part, is having this kind of roller coaster journey created, you know, this person in front of you. But I think not having that growing up somehow helped me not take no for an answer and really knock some doors down. So I think it definitely was a time when I had to be like, okay, why are you getting in trouble? Why are you getting arrested? Well, you know, why are you doing these things?
Did you get arrested?
Yeah. One time I was just stupid at a competition and I was like throwing these like shampoo bottles down, just and then it was just stupid. I got handcuffed. And then my mom walked in. Oh, this is the worst story. And then my mom walked in as it happened. And I was like, oh My God.
You're more scared of your mum than the car.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
At that age, for sure.
And then it's just like these moments of like, why are you getting in trouble? Why are you getting in a fight? It's just, but I think it all stemmed from trauma that I was like, small things like, I never had that, the birds and the bees talk, whatever that is, your parent, or the small little things that I think are important, especially at that age. So I think that was definitely a reason for all of my negative antics, was definitely probably because it was just my mum, and she was
trying her best.
Oh, she was crushing it, but she never complained. I never saw her cry. I never saw her anything. And now she's hopefully living the life, but she is the strongest man and woman I know by far.
What did your biological dad say when you called him after those 10 years?
I remember yesterday, it was like hello? I was like, yes, it's Miles. And he was like, hi, son. And then I was like, listen, I don't care about the past. Do you need anything? How are you? Talk for about, I want to say it was like 45 seconds, I think I remember seeing on the phone. And then it was just like whoa. But it was like a really nice closing a chapter and then opening a chapter.
Mm.
I remember I posted about it because I was very scared. And especially like black men, it's very common. You have a dad? No, and I talked about it. And I got so many lovely messages like, I'm going to call my dad. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't realize it was such a big thing to talk about. I've gone through a lot of my life, but they're all blessings in a way. But I think it's so important to address issues, no matter how hard they are for you at the time. And now, he's never seen me fence before, which is crazy. And now I'm like, maybe that's the time. Who knows? I'm open to it for the first time, because back in the day, I was like, I'll never talk to you again. But now it's like...
What opened you up to it?
I think just the understanding that everybody has their own issues, whether they're good or bad. I have to understand that as well. There's some things that he's going on in his life that he hasn't told me, or certain things, right? And I think just understanding that their parents are still growing up in front of your eyes, so they don't have all the answers, was like, oh, okay, Miles. Now I know the dad I will be when I have kids.
Mm.
So I think that was really, really eye-opening for me to understand that you're going to cry, mate. That's all right. I remember I didn't cry for like 16 years. So I was like, I'm, just stone cold, this and that. And I was like, it's all right. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's such a stigma. And then now I was like, no, like, we all have emotions. Those are okay. So I think that was just a massive learning process for me, which helped me in my sports. Because now I was like, I can do anything. Like,
that was harder.
That was way harder.
Yeah.
Calling him was way harder than any training session I've ever done in my life. I could have done Mount Everest. I probably would have picked Mount Everest over a phone call. I'm not kidding.
I think people underestimate how much a lot of our physical and mental blocks are actually emotional. If we were able to get past and do the emotional thing, then we'd be able to do physical and mental things that we don't even think is possible. But we're all blocking ourselves and limiting ourselves because there's some sort of emotional unlock that we haven't allowed, whether it's forgiveness, resilience, courage, fear, whatever it may be. And that's really powerful to hear, man. Thank you for sharing that.
It feels so good to talk about, because it's like, I almost forgot we're on a podcast. I feel like we're just, we're just having a chat.
We're just chatting, yeah.
And I think that's the cool thing is like, emotions are your best friend, right? If you're feeling a certain way, you can lead into it. Just don't let that dictate your entire day. So I think that's something that I learned as well. If I'm feeling this way, let it out and then move on. And then it all ties into just understanding who you are at the core. Because I finally know now who Miles is. Because I have to take those, hard looks in the mirror, figure out, take the losses with all the wins, and now understand that, okay, now I've got a clear path of what I want to do.
How did you develop all these mindsets and principles? Where did you learn them from? Because you're like, I'm like talking to a philosopher over here. No, but I mean it, I'm saying it in a positive sense. Like it almost feels like you've got these codes that you follow and you programmed your mind to think in this certain way. Where did you pick them up from along the way?
My mom said the same thing recently. And
really?
I don't really know where they've come from, but I just feel like if you're going to have to do something, right, why not try and do it with a smile on your face, right? If I got to go to training, if I'm hungry or not, I have to do it anyway. And I think one of the biggest moments, which I'll talk about right now, which I don't like to talk about, no one really knows, but the first Olympic qualifier, I was on the way to, I believe, Vegas to support Lewis for the race. My sister suffered a stroke, 37 years old. That was probably the hardest moment I've ever had to kind of understand. And I forget about the Olympics. All right, I flew to Miami, opened the door, and I see my sister with a feeding tube and a breathing tube. Unfortunately, it's the times when you have to just lean into it. And that was the first time I became a man. And it's the first time I ever saw my mom cry. Sorry, Mom. But I just was like, okay, this is happening. How do we find some type of silver lining in this moment? And, stuck in the hospital, writing things down, journaling, all those past situations prepared me for this. I was able to just be an umbrella for the family. And I think that was the moment where I was like, okay, wow, I got this. She's got 2 beautiful kids. Obviously this is, domestic violence, which is one thing which is awful. And I think this is my sister who, as a brother, she understands all I want to do is take care of my sister. And, there's certain things that, she won't tell you, all these things, because she knows what her brother would want to do. And I was like, okay, Miles, we're going to figure this out. And I was able to make the Olympic team, which probably the first time anybody's going to know while dealing with this. I would fly from Japan to Miami, spend some time in the hospital, help out with the kids, changing nappies for the first time, just being there for my family. And my mom and dad did the most incredible job I've ever seen of just becoming parents again. And I think that's where whoever you believe in is testing you, because he knows you can handle it. And I realized that I can handle anything. And it was kind of compartmentalizing. This is, going from the hospital ICU to a competition and somehow doing well is the biggest accomplishment I don't even know how I did it, to be honest with you. I've got no idea. So making the Olympics was like, that was nothing. So I think that's when you feel helpless, right? And you feel like, I can't do anything because I literally can't do anything, but just give positive love and energy. And I figured out a way to, if I can make my family feel at ease or smile, and, that's going to help through this process. That to me was the first time I became a man, 100%. So now talking about it and showing people what I had to go through, I think you realize why I go so hard, because there's nothing that will stop me or can stop me, because I've seen my sister on those ICUs, which is the scariest place to be. And as her brother, making her smile and doing these things is why you're put on this planet Earth. And I think you got people around you to talk about it. Lewis would fly in and see my sister. That's the most emotional thing I've ever been to, is just time and support. Knowing how busy he is and Spins just being there for me is like beautiful. So I think if I can take that and as like my Dragon Ball Z and, build that up and give it to the world, we can do anything.
Thank you for sharing. How is she now?
She's getting much better. Yeah, thank you. She's actually in London.
Oh, no.
Yeah, with
okay,
that now,
good.
she can fly again. And,
Okay.
she's obviously recovery, stroke is very extreme. So she still has to learn speech stuff back. And,
Yeah.
But she can function on her own, and she's stronger than me. So, and as I'm still her little brother, but I became a big brother at that time.
I've seen people I know go through strokes, and it's one of the most scary things to watch someone you love go through.
At 37.
At 37, that's
healthy, run marathons. I can't run a marathon.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to, choose your partner right. And stress is a real thing.
Yeah, it puts everything into perspective, those moments.
It's funny because at that time, the Olympics is everything for me. When you get there, perspective is mad because it's like, that's actually the smallest thing you could accomplish in my life because it's obviously different things I want to do in my life. But it's funny how like at that time, it's gotta make it, my life is over. And then you make it, you're like, I'm so grateful, but there's so much more to life than just that.
Mars, what are you most proud of in your life? Because you talked about the hardest times, most difficult times. What are you most proud of so far?
Never losing miles along this journey. I'm still a 12-year-old kid, just 6'5", covered in tattoos. And changing my sport forever is probably the two things I'm most proud of. Winning's great, but changing a sport is bigger than any Olympic gold medal I could ever win. I got a message recently that this kid used to get bullied in school. A black kid as well from North Carolina. Mom sent me a message. He showed them pictures of me at school and that changed. Which is crazy to me. Right? So like that to me is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
If I can just be a beacon of light to these kids, I've done my job. I think that's what I'm most proud of.
You see you like getting emotional about it.
Yeah, I never thought, man. I never in my life thought I would ever have impact on these kids. Never. Because in fencing, I never had anyone that I wanted to look up to or be like. So if I can see these kids, at the league, they come up to me and they're like, I love you. I'm like, I love you. It's, I love you too. But it's so beautiful to have this love from them. And the parents are like, oh, you're so nice and kind and normal. I'm like, yeah, my parents raised me to be this way. And I think at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And as long as you got a good heart and a good core, I think that's the most important thing.
Definitely. And you're surrounded by that too. I mean, like, you mentioned Lewis there as well. Like, he's so humble. He's so down to earth. Like, you would never know. You would never know. Like, he's the most unassuming guy. And I feel like, who are the other athletes that you admire, that you talk to, that you pick their brain, that you try and understand their process as well and how they live life?
Well, one was definitely Kobe. Like asking him questions like, do you really watch like lions eating prey before, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. And just like that mentality is so rare. You realize why he's, the Mamba mentality. That's one of them for sure. Michael Strahan as well has been an amazing person of transitional from athlete to post-athlete. But yeah, there's not that too many that I've spent too much time with. We're able to like sit down and really kind of dissect you.
You're all busy. Everyone's got a crazy schedule.
Yeah.
Athletes have the craziest schedules.
It's I understand your time is here, so there's not, might be the wrong time or whatever, but I would say definitely, obviously, Lewis, Michael, Kobe, those are kind of the people that I'm able to, you as well.
I'm not an athlete.
I mean, like you said, I think understanding your thoughts is the hardest part.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not many I've really had the opportunity to spend time with beyond just, hi, I respect what you do and best of luck.
Mars, what have I not asked you that you wish I did? What have you not shared? What have you not talked about?
You've asked great questions. Jeez.
I was just curious, man. I was like, we just had fun last summer, and that's all thanks to Lewis too. Big shout out to Lewis for connecting us. But I'm like, we just had a good time, and I was like, I want to get to know this guy, because you're obviously operating at a high level, but I didn't realize, and this is what I love about doing this. Like, this is why I love this podcast so much, is because I thought the most interesting thing was what you did. And now I'm sitting with you, I'm like, no, what you've been through and what you've lived through and what you've learned is so much more interesting. And I think that's the reason why the podcast is called On Purpose, because it's people's purpose and their mission and their values and their belief is so much more fascinating than what we do for work. What we do for work is great, it's cool. But beyond that, there's a whole human that, that lives and exists.
Exactly. And the human is like what keeps us going. It's the heart rate. It's everything. But at the end of the day, we have these gifts in life, and it's like, how are you going to use these in the best way possible, right? So from a little kid from London to having 2 Nike shoes, never in my life, to creating a fencing league, is just all you need in life is self-belief. And I have it tattooed right here. That's all you need in life. If you have those, pinnacles and those beliefs, you can do anything.
Yeah.
And I think, meeting you, someone who I've been a fan of before getting to know you, it's like, oh, he's even more incredible in person, because you're the same on camera and off camera, which very few people are like that, especially in the field you're in. I think that's the key, is that when people see me, they're like, oh, you're nice and funny. I'm like, yeah. Well, what do you think I was? So
yeah, you guys were a bad influence on me. I played poker for the first time in 20 years because of these guys. I hadn't played for 20 years, and the fact that I won that now, I was pretty impressed. I know.
You smoked us. What do you mean? You destroyed us.
Watching Lewis go down was the best bit there. Like,
and he was like, I'm buying in again. I was like, okay, well, send me some money, bro.
I hadn't played for 20 years, but I was like, I want to bond with the guys.
Yeah.
Want to stay out, want to hang out. And so you guys are a bad influence on me for sure.
No, but you're one of us now, We're all in wolf pack. But that's what I'm so grateful for, is like connections beyond just, these kind of surface level. Is like, I know that if I was to ever like talk to you about something, you give me an honest answer. I think that's the key. Is I never want any friends or people around me that it's like, oh, you're doing good. It's like, let me be real with you. And I think that's the key, is whoever is around you is a reflection of yourself. So like, all the boys, Spins, they're all just amazing humans that push me to be a better person. I think that's the key to why we're so special in our crew, is because we keep each other accountable, we support each other, and we generally want each other to win. Which I think is a very rare thing for people, especially men in general.
I was about to say, that's what's so impressive about it, is that it's a group of men who are killing it on their sports, like doing incredible things, but at the same time have this like brotherhood that you guys have all built with each other. That feels like a massive, massive thing to be proud of, especially when right now there's so much loneliness for men across the world.
Yeah.
Especially in the States, the loneliness statistics are so high, and men don't know how to connect with each other. They can't pick up the phone to each other. What would you say to a man who's lonely, doesn't know how to pick up the phone to his friend and tell him how he feels? What would you say?
This quote was we're just passing through. And it's tattooed here, where it's whatever moment you're feeling, know that's not forever. Right? And I think that's something to understand, is like, this is not going to be forever. But also, people want to know what is really going on with you. And I think you're not a burden. It's actually a gift to be able to like have your friends, be honest and true to themselves about you. Like, that's actually I love to hear that. Like, it actually lightens my day. Whether it's a sad thing, it's like, oh no, he really cares about me because he's coming to me as one of his last, kind of resorts. So I would just say, lean into however you're feeling, but please just call your friends. Like, you're never alone. I'm grateful that I've never been in that situation, but if I ever was, I know I could call any of my boys up and they'll get me through it. If you lose a race, lose a competition, I'm gonna call you like, bro, that's how I feel. And then you feel better. Just know that this emotion is not forever. And it's actually beautiful to talk to your friends about it, because it actually makes me feel good knowing that you're coming to me. So it's almost like it's therapy for the both of us. So
Absolutely.
I think,
well said.
Just talk. And being lonely, like, I don't want anyone to feel lonely. If I see a little kid at the club or at a competition, I'll just go up to them. Hey man, how are you? You all right? It takes 2 seconds. And that might be like, oh, he said hi to me. That might change everything. Also, I think knowing your purpose and your celebrity in our minds in the fencing world, those moments change lives. And I think seeing that is really, really cool. And I'll be driving sometimes, I'll just scream, hey, I love you. Why not? Just like those small little gestures are just nice. And I think, I'm just generally a happy person, but if I can, actually, really, really, I'll leave you with this. Spins messaged me, and it was a quote, it was like, I make people feel better when they've left me, And it was the best thing I could ever, and he sent it to me.
That is the best thing.
That feels,
that's my favorite type of person.
Like that feels so nice. Like, oh, I feel good now.
Yeah.
So if I can be that, please. So
Miles, walk us through the gear, because this is going to bring back some memories for me, of course.
Yeah. So. I got you. So these are my babies here. So we have 2 masks.
What's the difference in the masks?
Just
the swag.
Yeah. Just the swag.
Okay.
And then,
you can see through these.
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah. This is actually a gift from you. Gift to you.
Oh, no way.
I'm assigned to you, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. This is one of my Olympic ones I use.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, that's very kind.
Yeah, and that's a gift.
I'm going to put that up in the studio. That's it.
Sign it. It's literally one I use.
You got to sign this for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I use
cool.
4 and so that's one of the ones.
Oh, dude, that means a lot, man. Thank you so much. That's amazing. What an honor. That's so cool. This is sick.
So this is a foil that I use, and all of them are like customly made for your hands, right? So like this is molded specifically for my hand, and this is the one that I train with, and then this is the tip now, which you know. But
we used to have the rubber thing on.
Yeah. So that's like what you would train with, but this is like what I practice. Yeah, with, like, competition wise.
Legit. Can I hold it?
Yeah, of course.
This is so this has been made specifically for your hand.
Yeah. So you're gonna put your thumb towards the end of it.
Here?
So right towards the guard.
Like this?
Yep, underneath it. Yeah. And then grip it.
Like that?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's the grip strength.
And that's why like
crazy
our forearm has this massive muscle here, because it's like all grip strength.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have like, a bunch of them.
Is there a difference in any of them, or no? You just have multiple for...
I'll like name them.
Yeah.
And be like, this is my baby number 1, whatever.
But they're all the same weight.
Yeah, all the way the same weight. And try and be the same balance if you can. Like you can, but the balance.
What does the balance tell you?
Like if it's more here, then it means it's more tip heavy. And then if it goes back more, then it's more guard heavy.
So this is guard heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it just keeps tipping that way.
Yeah. So, because
and what difference does that make when you're fighting?
For me, it doesn't really matter. But like sometimes if you want to attack them more, then it's easier if it's more tip heavy.
Got it. Yeah.
But for the most part, you can kind of just...
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. This is my job.
Yeah, I know.
This one is one that I won, I forget which World Cup with, but this is one that you're going to have as well.
Oh, what? What? Dude, you can't just keep giving me gifts.
No, those 2, I want to give you something that I've used.
Give me this. That's
but
very
those 2 are legitimate gifts for you.
Dude, you're kidding. You have to do that. That's too generous.
I won it, and then the tip broke off on someone.
Oh,
so there's a story behind it when
so
people
you left a mark on them as well.
Yeah. So you can literally say I almost. If it was the olden days, it might have went through them. But those.
That's crazy. That's so kind, man.
I'm gonna give you.
Oh, that's very kind. This is gonna go up in the studio. This is This is such a cool gift.
I bring like 3 or 4 with me, and then I was like, I'm gonna give Jay a gift.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm touched. I'm really touched. That's really humbling.
It's honestly a pleasure.
Thank you, man. That means a lot.
And now when I'm competing, you go, oh look, he's got one here.
You have to sign this for me then.
No, for sure.
Yeah, you got to sign this for sure. That's
100%.
dope. Amazing.
But yeah, this is
it's so
crazy.
Cool.
This is my world. And
was it hard to decide whether you fought for America or England?
Yeah, I mean, Lewis just tells me every other day. But I'm like, if you can get me United, bruv, we'll see.
Oh,
but I did it. Yeah. Well, I didn't realize I was gonna be a professional fencer. I did it because we needed, instead of an O2 visa, we needed to just stay in the country. And then my little sister was born in New York, and that's how we got our citizenship. And then I was like, oh wow, and then it was too late. Did they try to have me do media training? I was like, to switch my accent.
Yeah.
Because I'm from London, and then I was like, I'm not gonna change it.
Yeah, of course.
But obviously, America's done amazing things for me, so I'm grateful for this country. But obviously, I was born in St. Mary's Hospital, so I'm still London.
I love that.
But
so cool, man. Thank you for these gifts.
My pleasure, mate.
It's amazing.
I always like to come to someone and give someone something.
No, that's very thoughtful. That is very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Miles, this has been amazing. Honestly, I feel like I got to know you on such a deep level. This is the good thing about a podcast too. Even when you think you know someone, you sit down and talk to them for like an hour and a half, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't realize. We end every episode of On Purpose with a final 5. These questions have to be answered in 1 sentence maximum.
Okay.
Miles Chamley Watson, these are your final 5. Question number 1, what is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
It's never a loss, it's always a lesson.
Good advice. Question number 2, what's the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
that you should never show emotion.
Oh, that's a great answer. I don't think we've ever had that on the show. I like that. Question number 3, what makes a good friend?
Someone who you can call no matter what, who's always there for you, and who calls you not wanting anything.
That's the best phone call when neither of you need nothing. Yeah.
2 hours of talking about nothing.
Yeah. I talked to my best man, who's my best man at my wedding, my best friend for the last 20 years. I talked to him 3 times a week on the phone. Because we never catching up. I already know what's going on in his life. There's not, and we're never asking each other for anything. It's amazing. Question number 4, what's something that you used to value that you don't value anymore?
Something that I used to value is other people's attention. Something that I value now is people's time. You know, one thing I could think of is obviously my league debut is, and obviously having someone come there to support me, knowing how busy they are, showing up for me, knowing how important your time is, means so much to me because I know that time was occupied. So knowing that your time is so important and you chose to spend it with me is bigger than doing anything for me.
5th and final question. We ask this to every guest who's ever been on the show. If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
No matter the color of the person's skin, you give them a hug.
It's a good one. I like it.
A hug can cure everything. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
What's the most thing that you're proud of?
I'd say 2 things. One is when I get messages that say, you know, your work stopped me from committing suicide or helped me through my divorce or made me chase my dream or quit my job or whatever it was, and getting to message that person back and say, I didn't do it, you did. Like, I love that because I like reminding people that I don't have the answers. They already know what they want to do. I'm just glad that someone I interviewed, someone I sat down with had that impact on them. And the second thing I'd say is that I feel like I'm really grateful that I get to be the postman for this 5,000-year-old tradition. So just as you're the face of fencing, for me, I got to study this Eastern tradition of the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, which is a book, which is 5,000 years old. And I'm just today's messenger of it. And I'll be forgotten and that's all good, but the message continues on. And I feel so grateful that I get to be the messenger for an empire that is much bigger than I am and much longer lasting than I am, and how lucky I am that I get to be that person. So yeah, those would be my 2.
Wow.
Don't flip any more questions, Miles.
No. That was an amazing answer. My mom sends me a bunch of clips and half of them are from you. It's amazing. But keep doing what you're doing, man, and grateful to call you a friend. But what you do is remarkable.
Appreciate it, Miles. Everyone who's been listening and watching, make sure you clip this up, share it on social media. Let me know what resonated. Miles dropped so many gems. I feel like there were so many nuggets of wisdom. He's been dropping more quotes than I did today. So make sure you clip them up. I want to see what resonated with you, what connected with you. And of course, if you're an aspiring fencer, aspiring athlete, aspiring anything, I think there's so many great mindset pieces in this episode that will help you get to where you want to be. Big thank you to Miles again for coming through.
Pleasure.
Excited to keep supporting you, keep building our friendship, and let this be the first of many. So thank you, man.
It's an honor. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Absolutely, man.